Welcome again, everybody, to Hot Plate Madness. The lovely and excited Jen Martin. I'm Roger, and today it is Montana Dan's Stir Fry.
Isn't that exciting? No, stir fry sucks.
Well, and Jen doesn't like the stir fry, but Montana Dan is going to change her mind
Who's
today.
Montana Dan?
Well,
can I tell the world who Montana Dan is?
Absolutely, please do.
Okay, so shout out to Montana and my bestie, okay? My bestie lives in Montana with her husband and 3 beautiful children. In fact, she sent me this hoodie for Christmas. Look, it's Montana and Alaska overlapping because we just love each other. Anyway, her husband's name is Dan, and she's a fan of our show, and I told her that we're making stir fry this week, and she goes, oh, good, because Dan is always asking for stir fry, and I don't know how to make it. So today is Montana Dan's stir fry.
Well, and
stir fry sucks, Dan.
And the great part, though, about Dan is when I was talking to him earlier today on the phone about his recipe, he was talking about how he ain't got no time for chicken there in Montana. So we get to do some nice red meat today.
That's because Roger hates chicken.
Oh my God, I'm so done with chicken now. But there's a couple keys with stir fry, and we'll be talking about those as we go along. But the first thing is get your red meat or whatever kind. Obviously, you can do chicken, you could do seafood type stuff, shrimp, things like that, pork, whatever. But with your steak or your red meat...
Can you shut up for a second?
I can.
Good, because you want me to prep these vegetables, right?
I do.
Can I start doing that while you're...
Oh, please do, Jen.
...bragging about red meat?
Well, because... I mean,
he's going to go on and on and on.
How many chicken episodes have we done in a row?
And on
it's like
about red meat.
9 of them. And so it's like,
Stop.
welcome home.
Quit
to
your
the red
whining.
Meat.
Okay,
yes.
I'm going to start prepping vegetables. You can just watch me and listen to him go on and on and on.
Well, I'm going to go on a little bit about the vegetables now.
What the heck is this?
Oh, I thought that was the thing you
This
you
is like,
used last
no,
time. Oh,
but it's fancy. I can't.
That was the idea.
Roger!
That was maybe the idea, right?
You set me up. I can't, like.
Yeah.
Maybe I could.
So.
There we go.
Yeah.
This is working.
Madness has returned to the kitchen. But the cool thing again about stir fry is you can use whatever vegetables you really want. You know, you've got your traditional things in stir fries like
I don't really care.
All that kind
Nobody
of stuff.
really cares.
Yeah. Well, she's gonna like stir fry at the end.
Stir fry's gross.
But anyway, with your red meat, of course.
Okay.
What you want to do with this is you don't want it to be overly fatty. And I know for those of us like Montana Dan and myself who like steaks, we like that piece of fat on there while we're grilling it up or whatever. And you'll also notice I'm putting up the sleeves because we're dealing with red meat today. But you want to kind of have it a little thinner.
Roger's getting excited.
A little thinner than your normal big giant steaks and things. And you can also kind of pound it out a little bit and stuff. But when you're cutting this, stir fry, you can, well, and after last week's episode, yeah, I hope you do have it on your face. Going back, oh, see that? So you'll want to cut these into strips, maybe.
Oh, it's not working.
That got me. That got me.
I should probably stop being obnoxious and focus on my tasks. I get it.
And so you're cutting this steak up. You can have it in strips if you want. I like to cut it in much smaller, bite-sized pieces. But it's whatever your preference is. And as we're cutting that as well, we're also going to get this heated up. Jen, can you turn that on for me, please? I don't quite understand.
Roger doesn't know how to operate the butane stove that I invested in for our show. I came in here and he's like, is this all ready to go? It didn't even have the dang can of fuel in it. I was like, Roger, there's no fuel in this.
That's my question. Is it ready to go? And the answer was no, it's not.
This manly man wants to cook red meat and he doesn't know how to turn on
a campfire. I ain't got
stove.
enough time for
oh
this
my
stuff
gosh. All right, it's going. What do you want this on?
Get it up to the high.
Okay.
And so the idea, again, with stir fry is you're cooking it at a higher heat than other things you would normally cook.
Is there a certain way we cut these?
Get them as thin as you can. You can make them little.
You still have carrot on your shoulder.
I know. But just get them
so thin slices?
Yes,
thin
slices
that.
would be good.
Roger.
I don't know what's going on.
Whatever.
So you're going to have this pan hot. And so you'll notice we've turned it on already. There's no oil in here yet or anything like that. We want to get this thing hot. And with the oil, because we are cooking at a higher temperature, and the whole idea of stir fry is kind of speed, quick frying, this is going to be hotter than normal. So you don't want to necessarily use oils that have a lower smoke point. And what a smoke point is It's basically at the point where
Sorry.
No,
He's
Jen,
over here talking about smoke point.
Jen,
You can't turn on a gas stove.
I'm punching him in the face with knowledge again here.
Punching! Punch
2
away!
weeks in a row that I've done this.
Do you guys feel like punching bags yet?
But
oh my
you've got your
gosh.
smoke point, and the idea of a smoke point is once that oil has heated to a certain point, it's going to start to smoke and start to burn, and it's going to ruin your food, but it's also going to produce some unhealthy carcinogens that you don't necessarily want. So how you combat
That's
that
a fancy
with
word.
things
What
like,
is a carcinogen?
like stuff you don't want. So how do you combat that is you get oil with higher smoke points. Like peanut oil is a perfect oil to use for stir fry. That's usually the taste that you'll get at most restaurants where you go and get a stir fry. The smoke point of this is around 440 degrees. We are absolutely not going to be getting that hot with a hot plate, but just some knowledge for you right there. So we'll
That's
get
what I
this-
think about knowledge and
Yeah,
stir fry.
I know. I don't. Jen, we are going to make you a stir fry aficionado by the end of this episode. So I'm going to quickly cut this up, and the idea here is we're going to cook this meat first, and then we're going to set it aside, and then work on
Where
the
am I?
vegetables.
Yeah, okay, so I'm not cooking vegetables yet. I'm just prepping.
Yeah, just prep all that because we're going to just, again, the whole idea is speed. So we'll have our carrots ready.
Mise
we'll
en
have-
place.
We'll have our peppers ready because we've got some nice red and green peppers there. We'll have the broccoli ready. We'll throw all that in at one time, and then we'll move on to the snow peas and the onion.
What about the smoke point for vegetables?
Well, it's all about the oil. That's what you're concerned with, is the smoke point of the oil. And so vegetable oil has got a fairly lower smoke point. So you definitely probably would want to shy away from vegetable oil for a dish like this. It's kind of your roll.
Hey, look at what I'm going to do to prep the peas. Prepped.
Okay, so I can already see why she's not liking stir fry. Now, I have not touched the steak with this hand, but I'm going to grab one out. So a snow pea has these little tips right at the ends, which you normally will want to cut right off of it because
Snow peas
they're
are great,
hard.
but you cook them and ruin them.
So,
Do you want me to cut all those off?
I do.
Oh my gosh, Roger.
All right, so I'm going to put a reasonable amount,
Dan and his Dan
Table-
stir fry.
tablespoon or two. No,
I said Dan, I didn't say the other
Now
word.
you can see this stuff is nice and hot, and that's what we want. And you can hear that sucker sizzle right away, because that's what we want. Because we're going quickly now.
Ooh,
I know.
my.
And so we want
Ah!
and so if you look at that, it's searing,
Another reason to not like stir fry.
searing already.
Ah! I'll just stay over here. Am I out of the camera now? You can see my hands cutting.
And so even though it is called stir fry, I'm not stirring it constantly. You do want to let it sit for a little bit, and then you kind of scoop it over. But you're just kind of searing everything in of this meat right here. And you'll also notice from the camera up above, we don't want a lot of fluids to start accumulating in here. So if we get a lot of fluid in here, I mean, I don't know what,
No.
grease, oil.
I just love that you're yelling right now so that everybody can hear you.
Am I yelling? Is it too loud?
There is a mic like
Oh,
on
that's
the
right.
shirt.
Oh my God.
So I'm over here
So,
like, wow,
yeah.
that's going to come in loud and clear.
Luckily, we can fix that in editing, perhaps. But yeah, I totally forgot that I am not shouting because we have all of this other stuff here. Thank
Dude,
you,
even
Jen, for
our
pointing that
camera guy started backing up like, oh, this is going to be a problem.
out. So I'm just going to dump that right into my colander, clean that right out, throw this right back on. Let's add a tiny bit more oil here.
Did you think I was going to have all this prepped by the
Actually,
time
what I
the
want
meat
is
was
the carrots.
done?
I don't want the,
Peas.
because the snow peas are going to cook
You just
very
flash stir fry
quickly.
them, right?
Yeah. So I'm going to throw these carrots in here right now. We really want the red and green peppers in as soon as we can get them in.
You missed a carrot.
But just like we saw last episode, carrots take a while to get rolling, so we'll throw them right in.
Got it.
We've cleaned off our cutting board, cleaned off our knife. and our...
Clearly you're going, oh, you want them chopped in
No,
pieces?
you're good. No, you're good with yours right there. I'm doing just pieces with this green pepper
Why?
because we're going to have nice big strips with the snow peas.
Oh,
And really, some of this stuff is about taste, but it's also kind of about the color, the appearance of it, right?
pretty.
And so we've got some nice red stuff in there. We've got
Okay.
some greens. Got the carrots.
I'll take the broccoli. You take the onion.
Yeah, great. If you could do the broccoli, that would be good. And so we're going to just throw all that in because the peppers,
Whoops.
I'm going to take it.
It's okay. It's just for stir fry.
Peppers take a little bit more time to cook. And the thing with stir fry is you kind of want your vegetables and things to still be a little bit crunchy, not completely soft like you maybe would want them for like a soup or something like that. So you're going to cook them again at high heat, but you don't have to get them super soft. And
Oh,
again,
this
even though it's called
broccoli,
stir fry, it
yum.
is okay for it to just sit there. Now, onion doesn't take all that long to cook, so I'm just going to put this in last. We're also going to put the snow peas in last.
What about the broccoli? Should it be in there right away?
Yeah, broccoli should be in there right now. That takes a little longer to cook.
Getting it.
And, there's no real right or wrong way to chop up the size of the pieces or anything. Whatever you want. You can have real small pieces of onion or broccoli or whatever. It's just your preference right there.
So we have 2 cups of water boiling. We're using minute rice. Heaven help us if we ever try to cook actual rice
I thought
on a
about
hot
it for a
plate.
second earlier. Thought about it earlier.
Okay, so we got 2 cups of water in here. It's 1-to-1 for minute rice. And it's boiling, so we're going to get this poured in here. I'm going to stir that around a little bit. I can turn the heat off, right?
Yeah, you can just turn it off. You can actually set it aside because it's all about steaming.
All
Now
right.
you'll notice here, your vegetables, you can tell when they're kind of getting good because they're getting the nice darker color on this broccoli. You're getting a little bit of movement there on your peppers and things like that.
I will say stir fry is pretty.
Yes, very much. Now,
It doesn't taste pretty, but it looks pretty.
one
Like
of the
Roger looks pretty.
Yeah, not today, not in a while anyway. So one of the things with stir fry, of course, there's multiple packets of stir fry sauce and this and that. These things are about anywhere from, I don't know, $1.50 to $2.50.
I wouldn't
somewhere in
know.
there.
I don't shop for
Right,
it.
but I'm going to once again punch you in the face with some knowledge. We're going to make our own
I
stir
thought you were
fry
really going to
sauce.
like punch me in the face. You're
Oh,
like, I'm
no,
going to punch you in the
Jen,
face. You don't
no.
like stir fry.
No, because we're punching her in the face with stir fry today because you're going to walk out of here going, I'm down with stir fry. That'll be her exact words. I'm down with the stir fry.
You know, Roger has tried for many years to get me to be down with cats. It will never happen
Who buys me something cat related every Christmas and birthday?
because I care about Roger, not cats.
Who has a calendar of cats right by her desk?
I do because Roger can't stand me.
So he's all down with the cat, so it's all good. So Jen, if you could continue to monitor that a little
Okay,
bit. I'm
monitoring.
actually going to go ahead and throw the onions in.
Bring it.
I'm going to throw the snow peas in.
Woo!
But now we're going to move on to creating...
Roger, I don't think you got a big enough pan.
Well, that's the biggest one I could get right there. Gelman is holding up a much larger pan. I think, unfortunately,
She's so smart.
we are kind of beyond the ability to use that.
Past the point
Yeah, we're
of
past
no
the point.
return.
And
You
so
want to
we're-
hear a funny soy sauce story? Or are you going to continue talking about stir
I'm
fry?
doing half a cup of soy sauce right there.
Okay.
I'm doing half a cup of vegetable broth. Or a little bit more, right? I'm doing a little bit more.
It's madness, people.
Madness.
Hot plate madness.
Hot plate, yeah, we're not calling it hot plate. Everything's hunky-dory. All right, and so we're going to use some honey for this particular thing. This is where, instead of sugar, I'm just going to use honey.
One time I was at the store and I had this recipe from Pinterest to make my own pad thai, and it calls for fish sauce.
Oh, yeah.
I looked all over for fish sauce.
And how was that recipe once you got done with it?
Well, I wonder if it's bad that a carrot fell down by the butane tank.
Probably. It's madness.
Do you
right?
think so? Because it's like kind of like down in there.
Well, all it's going to do is
I'll
probably...
just kind of move it out of the way. Anyway.
Well, no, there is a warning.
I'm telling
here.
a
Do not
story.
dump carrots into the butane.
Oh, crap. Okay, so I'm looking all over, and the store doesn't have fish sauce. At least I can't find it. So I started asking people. And I started asking, like, random people in the store,
Hey,
and I'm asking employees. I'm like, I need fish sauce. Roger, what's great is you're laughing at nothing right now. So
No, because I just have this visual of you wandering aimlessly around like Fred Meyer. Where's
Where's
the fish
the
sauce?
fish
Hey, excuse
sauce?
me. You look like a knowledgeable shopper.
I need the fish
It's not
sauce.
like I'm asking for butter or something that everyone who goes to the store knows where it is. No, fish sauce.
So guess what? You know, like the employees there usually know where everything is.
Right.
They don't know where the fish sauce is. So they're like asking other employees, and they're like finding other employees, and finally they go back to like the guys that like don't speak English that make the sushi rolls for the little refrigeration tank, and that's all they do at Fred Meyer because it's really hard for them to communicate, right? And they go and they ask them, and they're like, fish sauce? And I was like, yeah, I need fish sauce. And by this point, it's been like 45 minutes looking for fish sauce, okay? And so then the guy's like, oh, you just use soy sauce. Soy sauce is fine. You just use soy sauce. And I was like, are you sure? That was the worst pad thai I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
I made it with soy sauce because the guy said use soy sauce. It's nasty. So I told the story to somebody here at work, and she went to actually like a specialty grocery store and bought me a bottle of fish sauce. So I now have a bottle of fish sauce. Fred Meyer does not carry fish sauce.
Right, and you've used it one time, and it was for that recipe.
I haven't made it again, so I haven't used it.
Yeah, I've got a nice bottle of fish sauce in my fridge as well.
Mine's in the cabinet because I
Yeah.
haven't opened it yet.
Yeah. So, yeah. And so,
Oh, see, it's really cold at work today, so I went and I got some slippers. They're gonna need to be washed after being on
It's
this
just-
floor.
and so just to update on this soy sauce or this stir fry sauce, because Jen was off on her fish sauce tangent story.
Yeah, give them an update. Sorry,
You've
it was
got
a good story.
You've got a half a cup of soy sauce in here. You've got a half a cup of the vegetable broth. You've got a tablespoon of the honey. You've got 2 teaspoons of the ground ginger and 1 teaspoon of white vinegar. And then we're gonna mince up some garlic here. Special hint or more punching you in the face with knowledge. All stir fry sauce should have garlic in it one way or the other. So you definitely want garlic.
Pow!
That's right. So
I think
we're-
I'm gonna start doing that every time you say punch face,
Yeah.
punch yourself in the face. The knowledge. Pow!
Yeah, punch you in the face with some knowledge right there. But so we're going to mince up this garlic, and so this should be a good sauce.
This looks like something Montana Dan would like.
And then we're just going to pour that in there. I've never actually made this particular soy or stir fry sauce, so
Fish
hopefully
sauce.
it's good. Hopefully it's good. But then you're just going to continue to let that heat up.
It stinks.
Get this to... It does not.
It does. I don't like the smell.
Oh my goodness. I can take over if you would like.
Ew! How's the rice? Can't like beautiful rice. Look at that.
And so the idea here with the sauce is you're just kind of letting it thicken a little bit,
The rice smells better.
and then we're gonna get ready to serve. And actually, Jen, you can
Dish a plate.
pretty much. Now we've got the minute rice here. Jasmine rice is perfect for this meal.
Traditional.
You can also throw this stuff over noodles if you want. The stir fry noodles. You can throw this over chow mein noodles if you wanted to go that route.
Do you want a spoon for that, or?
I think we could probably just use this.
There
little
you.
guy
That
right
is
here,
genius.
You know, I mean, Montana Dan ain't got no time for spoons.
Right?
You know.
He probably, honestly, the Dan I know would probably just dump the rice in that pot
Well,
and start eating it.
And yeah, and that
You
would
know it,
definitely-
Dan. You know
That
it.
would be good. So let's give this a shot. And that should be good. Man, I'm kind of just dumping stuff everywhere.
Yeah,
We're going to throw a little bit of that
I'm
sauce
getting
on
stir-fried cooties.
there. Who is trying
Yeah, who is our taster
taste
today?
today?
Jasmine. Come on down.
Come on
This is hot. It's like burning my fingers.
Oh, well, darn.
You're gonna have to blow on this really well.
Jen
We
is
keep
like-
burning people's mouths.
Well,
She burnt 2 kids' mouths.
yeah, no, yeah.
Thank you for reminding us.
I think you have to be under like 12 years old.
Come
to get
on in the
burn
middle here.
thing.
Have fun stepping on the food.
And she burnt 2
Don't be afraid. I'm in socks. Ah! Oh my gosh!
My bad.
Was there a spark? Did you guys see a spark? She shocked me so bad. Oh! Usually I can
Some
move
payback.
past those things, but that was rude.
Payback
That
for
was
last
strong,
All
wasn't
right,
it?
so it's
must be
Montana
connected or
Dan's stir
something.
fry. Let's see what the verdict of Montana Dan's stir fry is.
And if it's gross, we'll blame it on Dan.
Oh, she's seriously trying it.
You need to try some of the vegetables because you didn't even try the soggy vegetables.
We were 15 for 15.
I told you it's
Where are we
gross.
at?
That was a big piece of garlic. That's good.
It's good, she says. She said it's
That was
good.
a lot of garlic.
Oh, well, sorry. Maybe I didn't quite, well, didn't have an ulu, right? So I couldn't quite mince it as much.
Blame it on the ulu.
Yeah, I'm blaming it on the ulu that we don't got.
It's good though. I'm glad somebody.
All right. Well, you're going to try
Won't
it,
be
too.
me.
You will try it.
No, no.
You will try it. All right. Multiple cameras rolling.
I'm just gonna be focusing on Abby. Roger, I don't like stir fry. I think it's because it's too strong of a soy sauce flavor. I can't even swallow this. Where's my
Oh
water?
my gosh.
Abby, can I have your water? Ugh. I'm sorry, it's not you. It's the
Oh,
sauce.
no.
I'm pulling a Seinfeld. It's not you.
It's the sauce.
It's the
It's the
sauce.
sauce that I made.
Would you like to close this?
Yeah, I think we need to close
Please,
this show.
let's stop.
So, another successful show.
For those who like stir fry, let's be positive here. Silver lining is that people like stir fry, and this is probably really good for them.
Well, and I'm concerned though because the whole point of the show was so Montana Dan could get some nice stir fry.
Yeah, well, he likes stir fry, so I'm sure he will like it.
All right then.
I'll let you know next week because I'll tell my bestie to make it for him, and we'll get a review. How about that?
Okay.
We'll get a review from him.
We'll see. Although maybe you've tainted the audience now.
No, because
Oh, my bestie Jen doesn't like it.
Dan's
So.
an argumentative kind of
All right,
person.
very
He's
good.
going to go against me.
Dan, help us out, man. It's the red meat in there. We didn't have no time for chicken. So, all right. Jen, thank you so much. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.